All right, folks. Let's see. Let's make sure everyone can hear me. All right, awesome. Yeah, so I'm starting my first ever live stream from my own channel. Previously, I've streamed only with Bonsai and kind of piggyback on Bonsai stream, because that was like basically I was just in the Discord voice channel and streaming to Discord, and then Bonsai would use OBS to kind of stream from Discord to show on his YouTube channel. So I've actually never done a live stream from my own channel, primarily because I play the game on the iPad exclusively, because if you folks recall, a few announcements back, at some point, TTG was like, oh, we don't support emulators and we only want people to play on iPad or Android, or I think the way they said it is the iPad and Android are the only officially supported devices. So yeah, so I wanted to make sure I play the game only on the iPad. So I have an exclusive iPad mini set up just to run the tower 24/7. And streaming from the iPad is actually pretty difficult because most of the streaming software are on PC. But with some pointers from Zephyr, Spartan, and those folks, I finally got it set up on the iPad. I figured out a way to stream directly from the iPad to YouTube. So now I'm able to actually stream from iPad to YouTube and actually have these streams on my channel. Also spent some time today asked ChatGPT to set up a few visuals, including setting up my VTuber character. You can see on the top right. So when I talk, like he will open his mouth, he talks too. It's not a full 3D VTuber. I don't know how to make the 3D VTuber model yet, so if any of you know how to do that, maybe hook me up. But I was only able to generate some 2D pictures and put it together as a 2D VTuber avatar. Hope you folks enjoy. So today I'm primarily just gonna do my tournament run. I've already started it last night. I'm at 1 wave, so I need to start my run soon. Got 2 hours and 30 minutes left. In the future, I'll probably start my run earlier, probably like on Friday night and probably Tuesday night instead of in the morning or during the day. Maybe you folks can let me know what's the best time for you to watch my stream, but in general, because I have more stuff I have to do, like in the morning and on Wednesdays, I've got work, so it's usually gonna be at night is more convenient for me, which is basically PST time, like nighttime PST. Alright, let's let me read some chats. If you're joining the tournament bracket, yeah, it's gonna be a full tournament run. My tournament run might be long, so this might be like 2 to 3 hours, so bear with me here. Yeah, Stanley is in my bracket today. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope more people could join the same bracket together. It's just there's no meaning behind it. It's just more fun to see the people you know in your bracket. Yeah, so we're gonna get our setup ready. We're gonna start our tournament run. By the way, because this is my first ever stream from my own channel, something's bound to go wrong. If something goes wrong, like hey, the music is going wrong, or visuals, something wrong with it, just let me know either in the chat or just ping me on Discord, and I'll try to fix it. So just bear with me until I get used to streaming in this format. All right, so maybe I show a little bit of my setup here. So I'm gonna use a hybrid tournament setup because I have 28 card slots. I'm not even using all of 28 for the hybrid setup, so might as well just equip most of the cards. This does mean that I'm not fully doubling my damage, And my tower actually has decent amount of damage. So in earlier waves, this actually helps make things more smooth, go by quicker. Um, but yeah, in the later waves, you'll see that my damage is still not good enough to like be relevant into, let's say, past 2,500 waves. But you'll see that once we get there. So modules, pretty standard. EHP plus crowd control setup. Um, so we have like death penalty, astral deliverance. The cannon slot doesn't really matter. I think death penalty is actually the one that matters the most. Using singularity harness for just bigger thunderbot, bigger flame bot for better consistency. Also harvester, decent for EHP. OA and negative mass projector, good for EHP. We reduce the damage. Obviously, we need the PC, and we're gonna have Harmony Conductor for some CC setup. Again, bot is basically just EHP, CC pretty standard setup. Flame bot, Thunder bot with Thunder Shock, and then just bot. Cool. So I think we can get into it. Is there anything else anybody wants to take a look before we get into it? I mean, I could probably get into it and then we can flip to home if somebody wants to look at something. The bracket looks okay, I guess. Let me see the top tier bracket. 21 1000, 21 1400, 45 58. Okay, yeah, pretty standard. So yeah, we just need the goal is to get first place, so we just need to get like around 2,700-ish. I think that should be good enough. But yeah, if we can go higher, depending on how long is the stream at that point, we could go close to 3,000. Typically, I would say for like EHP CC setup nowadays, if you can hit roughly 3,000, like that is good. That is good enough. Like plus minus a few hundred waves. Cause so we'll start the battle. Cause the overheat nowadays basically removes all EHP, like all HP levels by the time you hit 3,000. But with damage towers, you actually your level hits 0 at 3,600, so you get like a few hundred more of your damage if you have strong damage. So that's why for EHP, like past 3,000, you basically have 0 levels. You can't tank anything, like including OC, you can't even tank OC. So nowadays, it's interesting, but ironically, EHP tower is actually more afraid of overcharge at the high end than like glass cannon or like hybrid towers. Which is kind of funny, I think. Because I think comparatively speaking, like EHP tower is supposed to be more afraid of commander, and like glass cannon, like damage leading tower is supposed to be more afraid of overcharge. But now it's kind of like everyone's afraid of overcharge. If anything, like EHP tower is more afraid of overcharge, because in between waves 3,000 and 3,600, if your damage is like really big, you can still like bounce shot into overcharge and you can still kind of kill it with like just damage. But EHP is actually going to have a bigger trouble because your health level is 0 and you can't really tank any shots. And you may not have enough like luck to kill the overcharge with Thorn, right? Because you have to like do Deathify, do the miss and whatnot. Yeah, so like for some reason the HP tower is at a disadvantage post wave 3,000 in between 3,000 to 3,600, which is interesting. I hope they fix that, but for now we just do what we can. And in most cases, in most brackets, if you hit around 3,000, you should be first or second place. Like it should be first place most of the cases, and very rarely you're gonna get like a second place. Very rarely you're gonna get a third place with like 3,000 waves. And in most cases, once you hit above 3,000 waves, you're like in the global top 100, if not global top 50 ranking. So yeah, it should be fine. 3,000 waves is good enough. Yes, so Stanley, you are the first viewer to join in my bracket in my first ever live stream on my channel. Thank you very much. How come my region is so low? Yeah, so I don't really use region nowadays because at the high end of EHP, like end game EHP, uh, the package health, the package recovery is gonna outscale region significantly. Then this is because across a few major versions, we just never gotten we've not never gotten really any bonus to region. We keep getting bonus to health, right? Because like for example, was it version 26 when the assist comes out, like assist module? So when the assist module comes out, right, like the armor module always gave tower health, and the assist came out and it gave more tower health, but not tower regen. And then most recently, version 28, the dissonance run, right? The discos. Disco again only gives tower health, not tower regen. So there has been a few major versions where we've only gotten health but not regen. And so nowadays, like it's so much easier to just achieve like really big health. And so the regen isn't catching up. So like if I fully load my tower with like EHP bonus and everything, I'll have a huge wall, but then it will take like real time 20 minutes, like 20 minutes real life time to like fully regen my wall. And so that's just not gonna, like the wall is just at that point a bit of decorative, because if it goes down once, it's basically never gonna go back to full again, right? So nowadays I utilize more the package recovery and like a bigger main tower health and main tower package max health to tank stuff. The wall is still there, but the wall I rely on the wall less nowadays, and rely on region less nowadays, because the package recovery is essentially it's based on the percentage of your tower's total health, right? So it's always percentage based. So the regeneration from there is pretty good. Yeah, but regen and the wall is still good for like majority of an EHP's journey, so don't disregard them completely. Some folks may be able to come up with creative strategy, creative pathing to, I would not say entirely skip the wall, but like have less investment in the wall and kind of jump to the late game of using package and package recovery faster. But I wouldn't think you could fully skip the wall and regen just through and through, because I think there's a major part like mid game, like early game, mid game, EHP tower. You're still gonna rely on the regen and the wall a lot. So maybe you can just skip the last few levels of the wall in the lab, because those like take a long time anyways. So hey JWise, thanks for joining. This is my first ever tower live stream from my own channel. Yeah, and I've got a sort of a VTuber avatar on the top right. I mean bottom right. Hope you folks like it. ChatGPT made it for me. Yeah, so when I talk, like his mouse is supposed to move. If somebody could make like a 3D VTuber avatar that moves, that looks like Kamina from Gurren Lagann, I would love that, and I would use it. I use my camera and then I would use it. Let's usually when I do tournaments, I like to set my orbs like this, so they're kind of like staggered, like 2 layers of orbs. As things come in, they always get hit because I'm using the negative mass projector, right? So you want to hit everything, including the rays, the commander buffed rays, and the commander buff scatters and everything. So you want to hit them to reduce their speed and their damage. So I usually like to set up my orb like this, a little bit like staggered line, and the inner orb is the inner orb line is kind of right on the orbit of the rays. But typically you won't see the Ray shoot at my tower because they're just gonna get killed by like a whole bunch of percent damage. But when there's a commander, the Ray gets buffed by the commander and then it's gonna live, especially if it's inside the commander's radius. So that's when the orb line is gonna be relevant, hitting the Ray and reducing its damage by half. Cutting anything by half is actually pretty significant, so that's always good. I'm using NMP and OA. So OA and NMP. Yeah, I'm not using SF. Because as I was explaining earlier, I'm past the point where Sharp Fortitude is better. Because we haven't been getting regen for a few major versions now, and so we just have way too much health compared to the amount of regen we can get in the game. So like SF and the wall is not that good when it hits the end game. It's more like package health, package recovery, and stuff like that. Yeah, like if I go all in on the HP on the module, like my wall is still much bigger than my main tower, because that's just how the wall works. But right now you see my main tower is actually like has got much higher health than my wall, and so that's because I'm using the package health setup. So the wall is less of a wall but more of a, I guess, glorified energy shield. So how this typically gonna go is typically I intro sprain 1800 no problem, and then just gonna keep going for a while. Typically my first second wind does not pop until like around 2500 waves. So we're gonna get to like 2500. My first second wind is gonna pop, and then from that point on, my damage side of things is like no longer relevant. And so we have to fully rely on EHP and crowd control, and then I need to start doing like some smite toggle and things like that in order to percent damage kill the commanders as they come in. So things like that. We'll do them around. We'll do them after my first second wing pops. Before the first second wing pops, we're just gonna let the game run like fully AFK. No microing or anything is needed. Hey, JY, what are you currently testing? I'm curious. Maxing the health lab is better than the region lab. Depends on where you are, because as I was saying earlier, it's I don't think you can fully skip region as EHP. Like you have to kind of get to like late game, end game, and then do the package health. But region is relevant. The wall in the region is relevant throughout the game, like for a majority of an EHP's journey. What will my health get to at full? Should be like around 1Q. Wait, let me see. I'm at 3x from Death Wave. So technically, like it gets like 2.5 Q, right? Like 2.5 big Q on the main tower. But we're probably never gonna see that because once you get above wave 1500, the overheat starts to kick in and it starts to reduce the health level. So yeah, we're really never gonna see that in tournament unless like I don't intro sprint and I just get like the full bonus from Death Wave. And then that's when we'll see the big health number. But yeah, either way, I think it's fine. I really hope that they give some bonus to the speed up of Death Wave health during intro sprint. Maybe give it like a 10x bonus, just so we don't get like the EHP players don't get penalized for doing the intro sprint. Because it goes faster and then you have less Death Wave health. Because a lot of EHP players like they have to don't intro sprint or don't intro sprint as much to accumulate Death Wave health, just so they have a bigger health pool when they go to the wave that actually the health matters. But that shouldn't be the case because like intro stream should just be a quality of life for everyone, right? So I hope the dev sees this and maybe consider giving like a 10x bonus to the to Death Wave health accumulation during intro streams, just so we have that quality of life. Because it saves honestly a lot of time for EHP players. JY is doing glass cannon farm at T18. Nice. Yeah, I still pretty much farm tier 18 for coins, but nowadays I'm farming tier 21 mostly for reroll shards and module shards. My module has gained a lot of levels in recent weeks thanks to that, and I've got tons and tons of reroll shards, so it's great. But yeah, once I get enough rerolls and module shards, I'll probably go back to like tier 18 or tier 19 to farm some more coins. I've been basically not farming coins at all for a few weeks now, because I was using my tournament setup to farm tier 21 to like around 3,800, 4,000 waves. So since this is my first ever tower live stream, first ever live stream from my iPad on my channel, I just want to make sure that everything is still going okay. Can somebody chat and tell me if everything looks fine, like the music, my voice, the visuals? Can someone just like give me a thumbs up on all of that? All right, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, folks. Yeah, great to see you, Luke. See you next time. Oh, Luke wasn't leaving. That was his greeting. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misread. Go bot? Yeah, I just left some of my bots on, but I'm mostly using the flame bot, the thunder bot, and the bot. Just those three. Can we see your boss breakdown damage? Yes, of course. We can look at the boss breakdown damage. So we can see like right now, Chain Lightning is still doing decent amount of damage, but yeah, very soon, like especially if we get out of the intro sprint, you start to see like the damage start to become less and less relevant for my tower. And then once we get to like 2,500 ish, basically you're gonna see no damage. It's all like percent damage, like orbs, plasma cannon, level reduction, and that kind of stuff. But right now we can still like see decent Chain Lightning and things like that. Because my tower does have decent like things on the flat damage side. I would say about a little bit more stones invested in flat damage than my CC and percent damage. So yeah, but yeah, it's not gonna, for my tower, it's not gonna be relevant after 2,500. If you folks want, we can like I can show you folks like some of my damage stuff later. Let's see. What part of the world? Yeah, I'm on the West Coast. Probably after I get... So PST. PST is my time. PDT. PST. Probably after I get permanent black hole, I'll be able to get some more Disso runs and unlock T18. Yeah, permanent black hole is huge. Definitely get that. I mean, it's good for coins, it's good for CC. If your EHP is good for damage reduction, it's good for a whole bunch of stuff. It's really useful. What range? I'm playing at 220 meters, which is pretty much the highest range you can play at without using substats. With substats, you can get it to around 270 to 280 meters. So you can go a little bit bigger, but if I do that, then my black hole coverage starts to suffer. So later on, if they let me click more into the black hole size, then maybe I'll boost my range. But in general, I like big range. I just like big everything. We gotta go with, you know, Giga range, Giga poison swamp size, everything big. Big and bigger. Hey, Spartan! How's it going? Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining. This is my first ever live stream from my own channel, because in the past I've only like dual streamed with Bonsai, like piggybacking on Bonsai stream, because I was able to just kind of stream from my Discord and just share screen, and Bonsai kind of just take that input and put it on his channel. But actually, shout out to Spartan, because Spartan's one of the person who pointed me towards how to stream from an iPad, because I have an iPad mini exclusively running the tower 24/7, but I didn't know how to stream from my iPad in the past, so that's why I never streamed, if you ever wondered. But now I figured out how to stream from my iPad, and Spartan was one of the person who gave me some pointers. So yeah, shout out to Spartan, thank you. Yeah, it took a bit to set up because I had to ask ChatGPT for all kinds of visual assets, like the background, the top left, the kind of the Discord banner, and then I also asked ChatGPT to make my my VTuber avatar that moves his mouse when I talk. So yeah, it took a while to set up and make sure everything is running. And I did do a few tests before the live stream, just to make sure we have as fewer hiccups as possible, because I want to respect all of you, respect all of my audience. Don't want to have too much hiccups, but yeah, I'm glad it seems to be working out. Yes, I end up going with Prism as you recommended. Prism Live Studio seems to be pretty decent. It probably doesn't have as much feature as some of the more like mainstream streaming things like Streamlabs or some other stuff, but it's got decent amount. I mean, I think I'll be okay with it for a while. Last question, I promise. What is your defense that you managed to get 98%? Oh, you can ask more questions. We're gonna be here for a while, blue baked beans, excuse me. We're gonna be here for hours, okay? Get your questions going, all right? So yeah, my defense is at 98%, as you can see. In fact, it's actually 1% over technically, because the max is 98%. But I actually have 99% because they recently released a 1% extra on the relic. So if they ever up the maximum to 99%, I will get that instantly. So please give me that 99%. Yeah, that's right, Spartan. Yeah, getting started, I think. Is the most important part. I agree. Yeah, and then who knows? After some time, if I feel like I need more features, I could migrate to some other tools. But I feel like I'll probably be good with Prison Live Studio as my streaming tool for a while, for a long while. Yeah, 99%. I mean, that's a whole percentage. That's additional 50% damage reduction going from 98 to 99. So I would love that. That's like another NMP. What are the most important EHP labs in the game? I would say it depends on where you are. Because early mid game, so Bonsai's channel in our server has a few videos on it. I recommend you just watch those videos. He explains like what to get, like early game, mid game, late game. But yeah, in general, like early mid game, you get some health regen, wall. But late game, end game, the wall becomes less important because the regen is severely outclassed by package recovery. So you just kind of go with more package recovery. And obviously in version 28, like all the EHP dissonance lab helps a lot. Like that one's pretty good. All the assist module stuff that's EHP related, like on the armor assist, that's pretty good. Yeah. Maybe in 28.3, yeah, I hope. If you ever need any help with content creation or want to collab or something, feel free to reach out. Yeah, thank you, Spartan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm very thankful that we have Spartan, Zephyr, Tequila, Bonsai, and a whole bunch of content creators in the tower. We just kind of all helping each other out. That's one of the reasons why I love this community. We're just helping each other out, looking after each other, and growing together, and just having fun. What is the most percent damage you can do to enemy? Is it above 99%? Yeah. If you count attack chip, because attack chip deals percent damage based on how much health the enemy has lost. So enough hits from the attack chip is always going to do more than 100%. But enough hits, as in like, if it hits something and then something is barely damaged, that's going to take a long time for the attack chip to work. But yeah, you can get percent damage above 100%. And you can do that with things like Smite Toggle, with OA, right? You let OA hit things enough times to reduce it down to like a low percentage health, and then you toggle on Smite, and Smite hits 100 instances, and depending on the Smite level, the 100 instances, so I have it at max, and it's around like 60% of wave health. So like if the percentage health on the enemy remaining is less than 60% of wave health, and if I previously had the smite turned off, if I turn it on, that will instantly kill that enemy. So that includes fleet and everything, like any enemy. Because smite only hits 100 times, right? So like if you keep smite on, you're gonna use up that 100 times before OA reduces their damage low enough, so then you cannot complete the kill. So like you keep the smites off, you let OA or other percent damage source like attack chip or something else deal the percent damage, so like it's kind of low enough, and then you turn the smite on and then it just vaporize it. It's great. It's like Zeus. Zap. It looks great on a scatter. For Smite on Scatter, it looks great because Smite just instantly kills any Scatter children that are like the third generation and beyond, and it just kind of splatters on your screens like zoom. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Yes, thank you, Luke. Thank you for saying the typical YouTuber punchline. I feel like I don't really say that in any of my videos. Maybe I should start saying that. But you know, saying that line is the meta of YouTube, and we are counter meta. We play off meta here, so maybe I should just never say that line. And just let my likes and subscribes grow naturally, you know, without me ever mentioning it. I got my first utility distal lab done here yesterday. Yeah, nice, nice. Nowadays coins are much easier to get. It's pretty good. Makes it easier. Like you don't need as good of a golden bot. You can put more into like, you know, flame bot, end bot, and that kind of stuff. It's pretty good. Love a lot of the things they added in version 28. I think I have 9s and 10s in champs for this tourney, same as last year as well. Nice, that's pretty good. That's high champion. I'm at a point where if I do any more poison swamp size, I can't get my orbs in line with the edge without workshop orb slider. You mean the Volt orb slider? The Volt orb slider is very useful. It's one of the most useful Harmony Tree upgrade in my opinion, aside from like you know, auto restart, right? Which is just like everybody should have that. Everybody should have that without keys. Technically, it should just be like a regular unlock. There's no reason to gate that behind keys because it's such an important quality of life unlock. But yeah, so orb slider, very good. I guess you do need to be a little bit careful with poison swamp size if you have a delicate setup where you know, the boss flies in, hits the poison swamp and gets stunned, and you want to kind of control where that stun happens. And so you want to set up your orbs like around the edge of your poison swamp. Yeah, so if you have that kind of delicate setup, I think it makes sense. Although later on, like once you have multiple swamps, and you have like a chrono loop that just loops things into all the swamps anyways, it becomes less of a problem. So that's not something you need to. The poison swamp size is not something you need to worry about forever. Eventually, you can just get it as big as you want, right? Because that's what I always say: big and bigger. Slowly working on the golden trio. Yeah. Keep working on that. That's good for a while. Just started getting keys. Nice. Started getting keys is good. That's an important milestone. Because once you start getting keys and you can kind of stabilize yourself in the range of getting like 2 to 4 keys every tournament, you know, that's when you start to snowball. So I finished my intro sprint, and this is part of the tournament that's gonna slow down, right, without intro sprint. So yeah, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna listen to some music. You know, I'm gonna answer some questions. We can talk about whatever. But yeah, this part is gonna take a while. maybe they should extend the intro sprint. You know, just let me intro sprint to 2,500. That's where my real game starts, anyways. Like anything before that is pretty much free for me in most cases. We're at 8th place. Okay, yeah. I mean the goal is 1st place, so we gotta get like above 2,700 to be safe, I think. I always ask what's the name of the channel comes from, but with every stat max out, it's self-explanatory. Giga is always better, and how to best show it, if not by putting it in the channel name. yeah, that's part of the reason we want Giga big. Although there are actually more reasons why the channel is Giga Gaming and why my tower is Giga Drill. So one of the anime, like one of my favorite anime, or maybe I should say my top anime is Gurren Lagann. Look it up if you haven't watched it. It's like a hot-blooded mecha anime. But yeah, it's like one of the most hot-blooded mecha anime ever actually. It's really good, and that anime I would say changed my life multiple times. So I kind of live by the spirit of what's expressed in the notion of what's expressed in the anime Gurren Lagann. So Giga Drill is basically Giga Drill Breaker, which is one of the attacks in the Gurren Lagann anime. And so that's kind of where my name came from. That's the original origin of the channel's name. Intro sprint in turning to max wave minus 3,000 would be amazing. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why they don't do it like you said. Like they just intro sprint you to whatever your highest wave is minus a certain number of waves. Right? Like why should it be a static number? It should just be based on your highest wave. I think that makes the most sense. As far as the concept of intro sprinting is, right? Because like for me, everything until wave 2,500 in a legend tournament is intro. Is like there's no way I can die. Yeah, look into it, Luke. I hope you like it. Yeah, it's never too late. And if my favorite anime becomes your first ever anime, I'll feel very honored.
The power of the HP lies not in our strength, but in the upgrades we shape and the towers we raise. In silence hear the calling rise, a whisper carried on the wind. The holy council of the HP stands silent till the hour we ascend, and through the storm our voices cry. My HP will split the sky. Unleash the war, let it blaze through the stars, let the cosmos remember our flame. We stand as one, no height too far, and the heavens will echo our name. Unleash the war, where legends are born, where the fearless refuse to fall. With every wave of the endless onslaught, we rise, unstoppable.
It's probably more exciting to look at the people above me and just look at the tower past them one by one. I think that's pretty cool. That's how I structure some of my videos. I just kind of show like every instance that that we passed the next placement. So it's kind of like we're climbing the ladder, you know. So next one is 1930. That's coming up. Then we're gonna be sixth place. What's your poison swamp cooldown and duration? So I have it pretty much maxed out as much as I can. So we can see here, duration is 2 minute, cooldown is 30 seconds. So 2 minute, as you know, is 120 seconds, which means this is exactly 4 permanent poison swamps, which is the max you can get to in the game. Do you have no little Thunderbot linger, or is just weak? Yeah, I pretty much have no linger. So I have my Thunderbot is duration, cooldown, range. I haven't put anything linger. Yeah, eventually I will start putting stuff in linger, but it's relatively speaking, it's less important because the linger is not full coverage. Like I think it's like 12-13 seconds after the stun finishes, and Thunderbot has a 50-second cooldown and 15-second duration. So like, what is my linger? Yeah, linger is 13 seconds. So if we do 13 plus 15, so that would be 28, right? So something is stunned plus linger is 28 seconds out of the 50 second. So it's a little bit more than 50% coverage, but it's still not like big coverage. So the linger is good if you max it out because it's like an 80% speed reduction, which is pretty significant because it's on top of other speed reductions you have. But because it's not 100% coverage, it's, in my opinion, is not that important compared to the other stuff. Maybe in the future, if they give us a few more levels in the linger lab and maybe a few more a few more clicks or some other bonus, and we can get the linger to like 100% coverage, I think that would be really cool. But I'm mostly using the Thunderbot for the Thunderbot Plus, the Titan Shock, to slow down things' attack speed. That's the main function of my Thunderbot. But yeah, ask me any question, or if there's anything you folks want me to talk about, like my view on like version 28 or things like that. I'm happy to talk about those. My view on like EHP as it stands right now, like I'm happy to talk about those. So just let me know. Otherwise, we're just gonna chill and listen to music because this takes a while. What do you think they're going to change with tournaments in August? Any ideas and wishes? Good question. Yeah, thanks for the question, Luke. So in August, I guess we are talking about version 29, right? Because I think they said version 28.3 is gonna come soon, like end of June, early July. First of all, I think they really need to fix the long tournaments in the lower brackets, as in From what I've heard, platinum nowadays is getting into like 1,000 plus, maybe even 2,000 waves. That's just way too long for platinum. And some players may not even have interest in platinum, right? Or not the mastery, like the full mastery, right? So like 2,000 wave platinum tournament, that's way over what it should be. And I've heard that even in gold, things are starting to get long. And I think this is all because of wave inflation, right? So naturally, as the game updates, stronger stuff gets introduced, and over time, people's power gets stronger. So, if everyone gets stronger, the average wave is going to go up, and that's what wave inflation is. But right now, the pressure isn't released at the top because there's no tier above legend. So the legend player, the stronger legend players always keep pushing people down to champion, and then you start to see more and more legend in champion, and then those starts to get competitive, and then the champion and the players gets pushed down to platinum, so on and so forth. And eventually it gets pushed down all the way to gold. So we need some ways to release the pressure at the top, maybe by like adding a few tiers. I would say not even one tier, like add a few leagues above legend, just to release some pressure for a period of time. Although that's not a permanent solution. Some folks in different discords have recommended like better and more permanent solutions. So maybe the dev can solicit their feedback there. But in general, like the long tournaments at platinum and champion needs to be resolved, especially platinum, because like when people get into platinum, that's like the first step. They start to get really competitive, and they see the game. They're like, oh, I have to spend like 3 hours running a tournament twice a week. Not doing that, right? And then they might just drop off when they go to platinum. So that's, as a community, that's not what we want to see. So I think they really should fix that in terms of tournament, like in general. Aside from that, I feel like at the very top end, EHP and like damage leading tower is not very balanced right now. I hope they can fix that as well. So I mentioned something like at the beginning of the stream, where like right now, because the overheat mechanic is such that the I can just show you. So overheat, right? So damage and health both starts decaying at wave 1500, but damage decays 28 levels every 10 waves. So basically 2.8 levels per wave, but health decays 40 levels every 10 waves. So that's 4 levels per wave, right? So health decays much faster. So what this results in is there's a point where your level hits 0, and that point is important because that's when you lose pretty much all of your base, right? And so that's when your stat becomes basically not very effective. So your stats hitting 0 for EHP, your HP hits 0 at 3,000. And then for damage leading tower, your damage hits 0 at around 3,600. You're still gonna have some bonus and stuff, so it's not gonna show up exactly at 0, but like your health level and your damage level eventually goes to 0, right? You can see right here, right now, my max level is obviously 6,000, but the current level is 4,080 for your health, and then my damage is 4,656, right? So damage is always gonna be higher level than health, because the overheat just deducts health more. But because EHP, the health level kind of hits the 0 at earlier waves, than 600 earlier waves than damage, right now it's a bit imbalanced because it's really hard for EHP focus tower to go above 3,000 because at that point we can no longer tank overcharge. And tanking overcharge reliably is kind of the key advantage of EHP tower, but that gets taken away at 3,000. And if anything, to some extent, like flat damage based tower actually may have an advantage over EHP towers between the wave 3,000 and 3,600. If your flat damage is still strong enough to like use bounce shot and chain lightning and that kind of stuff to bounce to the overcharge and just kill it with bounce shot and chain lightning. That means you can still semi-reliably deal with overcharge in between 3000 and 3600, but then which is an irony, which is the EHP tower will not be able to deal with overcharge as well as a damage-based tower, right? So that's kind of the imbalance I'm seeing. The primary reason I think why damage decays faster, where HP decays faster than damage, is because the enemy wave health increases, scales up faster than enemy wave damage. So that kind of matches the decay. However, I think a better way to implement this is to have kind of a ceiling of how much overheat you can take, such that you always have a minimum level of health and damage, no matter how many waves you run, right? So for example, let's say we set the ceiling at 5,900 for the overheat deduction, right? Which means since both health and damage max at 6,000 levels, this means you'll always have at least 100 levels in both damage and EHP. And I think that makes a huge difference. Because right now, at the point of 0 is special because if it's 0, no matter how much more you kind of invest into the stat, right? You're not 0 is 0 times 0 is 0, right? So you're not really gonna get much out of it. But even if the level is 10, not even 100, just 10, right? Then that means with a, let's say 100x or 10x or 100x investment in that stat, you can still sort of bring that stat back to its original efficacy, right? So give you an example, so let's say something reduces your health level from 100% to 10%, right? So you lost 90%. You lost 90% of your health, right? But having that 10% is important because now if I invest 10x more resource, right, labs resource, whether into health, so now my health is 10x compared to before, then that 10% essentially becomes 100% compared to before I did the 10x investment. So the investment is still useful and I can bring it back to the efficacy. But the point of the 0 is important here because once it gets to 0, I could invest 100 times, 1,000 times more resource into health. It's still going to be 0, right? So I think these stats should just never go to 0. They should always have a little bit left during overheat. So that's kind of the balance side of the change I would love to see in version 29. Let's see. You need 800 to even stay in platinum. Last time I had 920. Oh geez. So you need almost 1,000 waves to even stay in platinum. That's horrible, Luke. Man. Plat right now top is 5k. Wait, what? Oh, top 5. Oh, top 5k. Sorry. Brandon, I saw you were saying the top in platinum is 5k waves. I was gonna be like, what? Top 5k, 1,500 plus, several reach 3k plus. It's brutal. Yeah, I agree. That definitely needs to be fixed. Yo, Giga, just finished my stream. Hey, how's it going? Xpray? Thank you. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, Xpray is another content creator on our Discord, and he also does streams and stuff. Did you use the new role we created for the Discord Xpray for your stream today? Because we just created those roles. I think we should start using those roles to just notify people if they want to come to streams and stuff. But yeah, folks, let me know. I was rambling on for a bit about the tournament changes that I wish to see in version 29, but let me know if you feel what I mentioned is fair, or it could be meaningful or not. Let me know in the chat. So if we look at our boss stats now, you can see it's pretty much about percent damage at this point, right? So like plasma cannon, level reduction, orbs, it's all percent damage. Chain lightning is basically smite, because I do have smite, but it's a very small percentage. Because see, like chain lightning 3.3%, chain lightning 3.3% is pretty consistent, and that's all coming from smite. So so my flat damage basically at this point is not really doing much, if anything. But I do have more than 80,000 stones invested in flat damage related stuff, if anybody is wondering. I can do like a Tour My Tower stream at some point. And I can show you guys some of the calculation. But yeah, I do have pretty good investment in flat damage, but I think compared to the efficacy of my EHP and crawl control, it's not that effective in my tournament runs. It's pretty good for tier 21 farming though, that's for sure. Like the flat damage investment recently allowed me to go to almost 4,000 waves on tier 21 hyper farming. So that has definitely paid off. That is very useful. But for tournament, I feel like probably don't need that much. Luke said, don't think they'll reduce anything to above 0, but 1 will be interesting. You know what? I will be happy with 1. I will take a 1. Because you see there's a huge difference between 1 and 0, as I explained, right? Like, even if they give me 1, I could still, like, you know, just put in more investment somewhere and try to make it work. But 0 is 0. Someone in my plat tournament has 3,300 waves. Oh, jeez. See, folks, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we gotta fix that. Don't want to be dropping with 650 waves in Legend. Let's see, what's the line in my bracket? Oh, it looks like, I mean, you definitely would have stayed in my bracket. My bracket looks pretty easy actually. It's anybody above 300 would stay, and then anybody above 1,000 would get keys. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good bracket. Oh, X-Ray, you just shared the link in your new Discord tab. Yeah, you mean the Discord channel, because we gave most of our creators their own dedicated channel in our Discord server. So yeah, you probably put it in your channel. That's good. Yeah, any of your followers can just go there and they can easily go to all of your videos. I think that's useful. Tournament went pretty good, by the way. New PB in waves and probably position, so I'm getting keys again. Nice! Get those EH keys! Yeah, X-Spray is another EHP streamer. EHP Tower content creator. Good to see fellow EHP players getting keys. Let's see, I was in plat about 10 tourney goes and was second with just over 2,500 waves. Oof! I would say anything in plat that is above 1,000 waves, honestly, is a crime, okay? Okay, folks, that's a crime. Like, platinum should not be over 1,000 waves. And nowadays, I think people are getting more than 1,000 waves in gold, right? Because, like, it keeps getting pushed down, so even platinum has higher and higher pressure. So, like, maybe we'll see champion players in gold. I don't know. Maybe we're already seeing that. If somebody's seen that, let me know. I've definitely seen reports of like past like historic legend player showing up in Platinum. I've seen that. Look, so somebody dropped from champion to somebody dropped from champion to gold. Yeah, that'd be scary. That'd be scary. X-ray, yeah, EHP power, damage is optional. Yeah, damage is indeed optional, but at the end of the day, everything is optional based on how you build your tower, right? So just want to be fair, because like if you're a glass cannon tower, your EHP is optional. If you're EHP tower, your damage is optional. If you have really strong like CC percent damage, maybe both are optional. And if you have both damage and EHP, you're like a strong hybrid tower, maybe you don't really need much CC, so CC is optional. So yeah, I mean, that's the good part of the game. It's like a sandbox game. You can play the game however you want. You can kind of pass yourself, right? Design your own passing, forge your own path is what I always say. So you can always pick and choose what you kind of get into, and everything will work as long as you know stay on the path, invest enough into it. So at the end of the day, everything is optional. What do you think the max should be in champs? In champs, I would say like 1,500, right? And then in legend, I would say like around 2,000. So right now, legend is top is like around 3,000 to 3,500. I think they should all be lower, right? So like legend would be 2,000, champ would be 1,500, platinum would be 1,000, gold shouldn't be more than like 500. Because it all depends on like, because a lot of people run tournaments without intro sprint, right? So like 500 waves takes, I don't know, like roughly, 30 minutes ish? So like even 1,500 waves is like an hour and a half. And that's still pretty long for a tournament. Because you have to babysit it, you have to pause farming, do the tournament, and then go back to farming, right? It's not something you can just schedule to be done automatically. As a true idle game fashion TTG. So yeah, I think getting those waves lower is gonna be good. But I mean, artificially getting the waves lower by implementing like overheat or like upping the tier on the bracket on the league, I don't think that's a permanent solution. Because like you can keep going higher, right? Like you can say, oh, platinum instead of like this tier, you go to the next tier, or like legend instead of 17 plus, it goes to 19 plus. Like you can keep doing that, but the problem is like that's not a permanent solution. So you know, some folks have recommended better solution in multiple discords and everywhere. So you know, I hope TTG kind of takes a look at those feedback and figure out what's the best path forward. But who knows? Maybe they will add an overheat mechanic to champion and platinum to like put more of a ceiling on how many waves you can get. And when they do, I highly hope that they do not do the same thing they did to Legend again, where like EHP is kind of at a disadvantage because of a lower ceiling of how many waves you can comfortably get to. Like I can get above 3,000 waves, but it just requires some luck, right? Because like I can't tank overcharge, and so like I need some Deathify and Miss to actually survive the overcharge past wave 3,000, because at that point I have no EHP. So I can still do it. It just requires some luck. But it shouldn't be like that, right? Like if damage didn't go to 0 until 3,600, so should the EHP. I think that's how it should work. Or as I said earlier, you could just put like a minimum on it, so no stat can ever drop to 0. Like both stat maybe drops to 100 or even 10. I think that'll be good. My second account is currently second place in gold behind a champs player. Oh geez, so champs players are in gold already? Oh. Oof. I think they should give one key for 16 to 24 just for staying in legend. It's hard to get to legend. To reach 15th place is completely different. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree, Luke. They should just give one key to 16 to 24. Yeah, if you can stay, you should get one key. Because it adds up, right? Like it's so nobody needs to lose hope or things like that. Yeah, because the top 15 is gonna get harder and harder to get into because of all the wave inflation and all the players boosting their towers. So eventually it's gonna just get harder and harder to get into. So giving one key to everyone if you can stay, I think that's fair, and you just accumulate enough keys for a long enough time, you'll be able to get things like auto restart in the vault, and that's gonna help a lot. At the very least, like it gives people hope, right? And hope is important. So does Thunderbolt Plus reduce the attack speed of Overcharge? Yes, absolutely. Very useful. I've been more than 7 times in Legend, but only got keys twice. Don't worry, Xperia, you're gonna get more keys now. You got it. Once you start getting keys, you just takes like maybe 2-3 more months to stabilize yourself in getting 2 to 4 keys every tournament, and from that point on, you're gonna snowball. It's gonna be good. What do you think is must get in the Harmony tree? I'm EHP, but lots of investment in the CC to help with % damage. Yeah, alright, that's what I like to hear. But yeah, in the Harmony tree, I would say definitely go for auto restart first. That's just like a huge quality of life, right? I don't even care about like tournament performance and stuff like that. Like you should just get that one. And then besides that, if you have good CC and % damage, I would definitely go for the orb slider, just so that bosses are not a problem. So you folks been watching my stream for a while. So far, how many bosses have you seen actually hit the wall? How many bosses? How many bosses actually cross the orb line? And the answer is 0. So once you have a strong enough chrono loop and poison swarm stun and things like that, and you can help yourself by giving your armor modules some like orb substats. But yeah, once you have that, the bosses basically it's a solved problem. Like pretty much no boss can ever approach your tower past your orb line. So getting the orb slider is really good because you can before it's fully bulletproof, you can kind of move your orb to like where the net hits the boss, or maybe like where the poison swamp is most likely to stun the boss. So it just makes boss less of a problem for EHP, which is really helpful, especially in like seems like today's tournament where they have Thorn resistance, which is actually pretty bad for EHP. Having this battle condition, the boss is gonna like roll on your wall for a long time. So that if you just prevent boss from like ever touching your tower, that's one problem solved. And then after orb slider, I would say like things like the smart series, right? Like the smart demon mode, smart nuke, that kind of stuff is universally helpful. Do you think that will create new league with more keys and new tree in the vault? More stones will also definitely help. Having now so many stone things left and right. Yeah, I agree. I certainly hope so. I think they should just not only stone but also metal, right? Because like version 28 introduced a lot of metal sync as well, and bots are becoming more important than ever in version 28. So they should just give us more metal. My idea is just to add metal to the regular farming tier, like the milestone reward, right? Because right now the milestone reward only gives some stones and gems, there's no reason why they can just also give some medals. It'll also encourage people to buy the extra milestone reward unlock. They could gain some medals behind that if they want. But yeah, they should give us more medal. Yeah, definitely new tournament tiers give us better rewards like on keys, stones, and maybe medals as well. I think that would be really good. Thunderbolt will be super important at some point. Yep. Could only find information about slow aura and nuke mastery, not impacting overcharge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a bug. I think they should fix it at some point. Like slow aura, nuke mastery. I think you mean slow aura mastery, right? Yeah, those things should also impact overcharge. My current problem is when Ray's sitting inside commander bubbles. Any thoughts on solutions? Yes. I mean, one solution is just have very good EHP, just tank it. I think in my stream now, when the commander shows up, you can kind of see how I deal with it. For the most part, I just tank it. But also, Thunderbot Plus is really useful. Because the commander buffs a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like it buffs speed, damage, mass, and HP. So the ray inside the commander radius is gonna have a massive mass, and every time the commander pulls, my understanding is it stacks also. So it's just gonna keep getting more and more massive, like in-game mass. And so under the effect of a Thunderbolt Plus, the commander buffed ray just barely shoots. Nowadays, I can get it to the point where the ray basically shoots faster than my wall rebuilds. So if there's only one ray inside the commander's radius, basically I can never take damage from it, even though it's in the commander's radius and it's like immortal, right? But it just shoots so slowly. But we'll see if that's still going to be the case in version 28.3, because in 28.3, they've updated the... So they're planning to update a few things like on how fleet works. One of the things they are going to update is if we go to here, right? So this description here is what they're intending to update the game to, but it's not currently in the game yet. I think they probably just accidentally put the text in the current version, but this text is meant for the next version. So you can see here it says empowers enemy health and speed within range. So I would be curious if it still buffs enemies mass and attack damage. In the case of mass, I actually hope that it continues to buff enemies mass. Mostly because I want to be able to slow down Ray's attack with Thunderbolt Plus. Because if it stops buffing the Ray's mass, then the Thunderbolt Plus will be less effective on the commander buffed Ray, and then they would actually shoot me. So... yeah, so for my tower, I actually hope that the commander continues to buff the mass of the enemy. It's kind of a funny thing, but yeah. But yeah, I'll point out what happens next time I see a commander. I'll point out what are the things that are going on, how we are dealing with that. Once an EHP player finishes Flamebot, which one would you develop next if you wanted more power? Probably Botbot. So you get more EHP power, because the Botbot actually gives a significant boost to Flamebot. It applies another 95% damage reduction on top of the 95% you got from Flamebot if you max out Botbot. Like that's how the formula works, which is massive, right? Basically, it's like you just got another 95% damage reduction source with Flamebot with Botbot. So So I would go there. I would go that route. If you don't want to invest in Baba, Thunderbolt is also a good choice. But I would recommend the Thunderbolt Plus more than the Thunderbolt stuff itself. So you would just get like the range and the cooldown, and you just get the Thunderbolt Plus. Okay, so we have a commander. Let's see if we can get any rays in the commanders, just so I can demonstrate, how we deal with rays in the commander. The amount of stones I bought for medals before, if I knew about version 28 before, I could have at least 400 medals more. Yeah. Yeah, I hope TTG give us like a more detailed, like longer term roadmap. I think that's definitely gonna help. So we know what's coming up and so we can prepare. Well, it looks like our tower is so strong that rays can't even get into the commander radius. They just spin around my tower and they just die before they actually even hit the commander. Also, I think the commander got pushed down a bit. Yeah, so it's less likely for a ray to get into a commander now because the ray has to orbit a few more times to hit the radius. Yeah, these fleets, even though they have very high mass, they're movable, because like the commander buffed the mass of all the other enemies. So like that ball of enemy that were buffed by commander, they all have really high mass. So if the shockwave is kind of bouncing them back and forth a little bit, if that bouncing happens right on top of the commander, it will push the commander inwards towards your tower on the way back for those enemies. Just because all of those enemies have a really massive mass. Like look right now, like look at this commander. See, it's getting pushed back like pretty quickly from the ball of the enemy, just pushing it down. Because the ball of the enemy, even though they're controlled by black hole, like each one of them has like a massive mass, because the mass is buffed by the commander. Yeah, so like their mass is probably much higher than the commander itself, and that's why they can push the commander in. So we still don't see any rays inside the commander radius. Like it's just now they're just not strong enough to reach the commander under this battle condition. But I assure you, even if I have a few commander buffed rays, it wouldn't be a problem.
Sorry, my rhyme's gonna stunt your brain, yo. I'm so stormy with a straight up skill. We gonna make it happen with a crazy rap skill. You're ready to run roll. Now for your time, If it ain't no, now you know. Good luck, fellas. Impossible, see, invisible. Fight the power.
I have an embryo flamebot. Okay, yeah. Keep building on it. It's gonna help you well. It's gonna be well worth it. So our wall went down, but nowadays our wall is just a glorified energy shield. So my main tower is gonna still take all the hits just fine. Like the wall going down is not a problem at all. For most EHP, like for most of the EHP's journey, like if your wall goes down, you're kind of getting close to where your run ends. But for me, that's not gonna be the case. Far from it, as a matter of fact. I recall like Bonsai's last stream, he like his tower is mostly ascended, and in that stream, his wall rebuilt like 15 times under a commander, which is funny. He just never died, even under a commander. His wall just kept rebuilding. Does bot need perma uptime to be useful for flame bots? It does not actually, because anything that is tagged by the flame bot has the permanent damage reduction, and then if it gets tagged by bot separately, it will also have the permanent like increased damage reduction, if that makes sense. So like flame bot and bot doesn't even need to tag things like all at once. They just need to tag the same thing at some point, and you'll get like the massive damage reduction. With good CC, a 60% uptime is consistent enough. Yeah, that is correct. Yes. So yeah, we pretty much always have like a commander on the screen, but it's not a problem. So at this point, my health from Death Wave is maxed out at 12.5 times, but the current level is only 3,000 compared to the max 6,000 because the overheat has taken away almost 3,000 health levels at this point. On the damage side, damage side is much higher. I still have almost 4,000 levels compared to the EHP side. I only have 3,000 levels left. So we have an overcharge. Overcharge is going to take away all the energy shield, but that's fine. It's not important for us. Not at this point. Not at this where we are. When we get to like around wave 3,000, it will be more important. Yeah, but yeah, right now like you can see the overcharge basically just can't damage me at all. You can also see that if we get a Thunderbot on it, yeah, there we go. So you can see the shots kind of slowing down. The shot's pretty slow. Yeah, so basically commanders are just kind of, they come and they hang around for a bit and then they're gonna go away. And we don't need to do any micros like smite toggle or anything, you know, before the second win actually pops. And typically, like I said earlier, my second win typically doesn't pop until like a wave 2,500 in most battle conditions. So a few hundred more waves before the second win even has a chance of popping. So by the way, on our Discord, the Tower Sanctuary Discord, we do have a lot of mentors on both Blast Cannon and EHP and Hybrid and CC % damage side. Basically, like we have mentors in all areas. So feel free to, if you haven't already, feel free to join our Discord server. The link is in the description, but also the invitation link is on screen. So yeah, join our Discord server, and you know we're happy to help. Yeah, I've been playing the tower for a while, so like myself, I don't remember most of the early to mid game stuff. So I'm probably like a better coach late to end game. But our Discord server does have a lot of mentors, and they're in different stages of the game. And in general, we just have a lot of players in different stages of the game. So if you come to the server, I'm sure like no matter where you are in the game, you'll be able to find it helpful.
A promise breaking through the grave. Beyond the wall we stand before. A path of progress lights the way. We rise through storm and shine light.
My wall tends to fall a few times through the 5 before I'm taken out. That's actually not bad, you know? That means your crowd control and percent damage is kind of maybe touching the edge of the ascension, right? That's pretty good. Because most people, under a commander as an EHP, if your wall falls, you're gonna die. So, if you can rebuild a wall like 3 to 5 times, it's not as much as 15 times is what Bonsai did, but hey, 3 to 5 times, not bad. Is bot without synchro worth it? I don't think there's any point to invest into it before unlocking other. Yeah, that's right. If you just want bot plus flame bot, you don't really need synchro. It should be decent enough even without synchro. I obviously have the synchro, so that's why all my bots are kind of traveling pretty much around the same around the same place. So right now I have 3 synchros. So I've got my Flame Bot, Thunder Bot, and Baba all synced up. But if you just want to use Flame Bot and Baba, yeah, you don't really need to sync them up. I'm thinking about wall rebuild as the force armor substat so that Demon Mode can bridge the 300-second gap to get a new wall. Does that sound good? Yeah, wall rebuild is good. Yeah, being able to rebuild your wall like within the demon mode is pretty helpful for an EHP. So I would agree, yeah. Not with the commander, so not quite as far. I've not seen many commanders yet. Ah, okay. Well, you will. I'm sure you will. Seeing that kind of scary stuff, like the commander, the overcharge, and all that is proof of progression. It's proof that you've come thus far, you've come this far, and you've grown strong. So I'm sure you'll get there eventually. Alright, how's our placement doing? Let me see. Oh, we're in 4th place now. That's cool. We just passed this guy. Okay. Very soon we're gonna be 3rd place. We're gunning for that 1st place, guys. We're gonna get that 1st place. We're gonna get that done. We're just gonna do 1 run. Usually I don't need to rerun the tournament. Just 1 run till the end and then done. If I butcher the run at some point, it's whatever. But yeah, usually we should be able to get 1st place. So on the Sanctuary Discord, I'm seeing a lot of messages of people saying they got a personal best with EHP today. That's pretty good. That's awesome. People saying, hey, EHP take me to 1,300, EHP took me to 600, EHP took me to 2,000 plus. Yeah. Get those EH keys, guys. Gotta get those EH keys. Love it. Yeah, I mean today's battle condition isn't even that great for EHP honestly because of the thorns resistance. I guess knockback resistance is bad for both EHP and Glass Cannon, but Soren's is pretty bad for EHP. So even with that, you know, getting a personal best with EHP with a whole bunch of people on our server, that's good. Glad to see that. I got extremely lucky going inner land mining plus 3 months into my tower over Chain Lightning, now 15 months in, and just did 2,348 waves in Legends. Pretty pleased. No Ascension though. Nice. Always love seeing, you know, the unique builds, because that's what we're here for, right? I'm all about you know, anti-meta or off-meta way of playing things. Our Discord is also, you know, we accept all kinds of players, like players in the meta, but also players, more so like players outside of the meta. So that's why it's called the Sanctuary, right? So like, you know, it's sometimes if you go to main Discord and whatnot, like you get shafted if you say you don't play exactly one way, the meta way of playing it. But that's not gonna happen on our server. That's what we pride ourselves with. So yeah, happy to see, you know, things like you know, people not using Chain Lightning, because Chain Lightning's been the meta for like the longest time. So if you can like do well without using much Chain Lightning, that's good. Always you know, happy to see some shifts in the meta. It's midnight here, and as much as I want to say I have to go tomorrow, I need to wake up early. Good night, gentlemen. Yeah, good night, Luke. Thanks for dropping by. It was awesome chatting with you. See you next time. I had a PB with 1498 today. Nice, good waves. 7th place, all right. Free workshop respects. That's huge. I hope you get it, man. I hope you get it, Demish. I still have 3 modules: a legendary, OA, RB, and SM. My tower is fighting against EHP, it seems. Yeah, OA, RB, and SF are all pretty good. Hopefully you get more of those later, so you can get them to Ancestral. Yeah, I think module luck is a big thing. Like, you know, at the point where you're deciding if you want to go more EHP versus like Glass Cannon or like maybe hybrid, I think it's largely, for most players, it's largely dependent on the what kind of modules you're able to get. For big wells, I mean, you just hold module until you get everything, right? Would you completely max Flamebot EHP parts and only then start Baba? Or would you start with Baba slightly earlier? I haven't done the exact math. I think if you start Baba a little bit earlier, it helps, like mathematically, but if you just want to keep it simple, I would say just max out Flamebot completely and then work on Baba. It's like cards, yeah, it's like cards.
dark looks like daylight. If every fear was a chain on my hands, I'd pull the sky down, change the plans. This fragile earth in my open palms, who's gonna drop it? I'll pierce the heavens with my EHP. Every hope and promise burning up inside of me. I'm standing guard for this broken world. Believe in me. Believe in yourself. I'll pierce the heavens with my EHP. Turn every limit into fuel for my legacy. I'm not afraid of the climb, so as I pray, Giga drill breaker.
Gotta pull mods until you're done. Yeah, well, if you have the gems to spare. I would argue, most people would say like don't use gems to rush labs, but I would actually argue that using your gems to rush a few like high power, high return labs, I think it's worth it. Because maybe it helps you get those keys from tournaments, right? And get the free workshop respect earlier. Those are the things that help you snowball. So you really just gotta kind of decide, think strategically and decide. It shouldn't be a blanket statement like, some people would put it like, oh, never spend gems on labs, So that's like once you have enough labs that are gold boxed, it gets cheaper. So.
With my EHP, every hope and promise burning up inside of me. I'm standing guard.
Let's see. My tower is some kind of hybrid with decent labs because I started playing September and took over September 2024. Yeah, hybrid tower is pretty strong nowadays in version 28 with all the disco stuff. Keep an eye on those rotating relics for some of my gems. Yeah, using the gems to buy the relics is pretty useful too. I would argue though for like free to play and for early to mid game players, not buying relics and not buying themes at all could actually help you prepare yourself forward faster and sooner. Because you're saving up a sizable amount of metal where you can then put into your bots, which in version 28 bots are going to help you a lot. And I'm sure somebody hearing this is going to be like, what, you gotta buy those themes, those are like the long-term econ stuff, every little bonus matters. Yes, it is good long-term investments, but for a free-to-play early to mid-game player, I honestly think that their medals are better spent on just getting the bots set up. Think about how much power you actually get from like a good, flame bot or a amp bot, right? Even if you just build up your gold bot for more econ, I'm pretty sure if you dump the medals in your gold bot, you actually get more return on your econ compared to buying those themes. Like those little 0.8% on themes and stuff. So something for everyone to consider. And what we're here for is we gotta reject herd mentality. We cannot follow the crowd. We cannot just believe everyone. We cannot believe everything people tell you. We have to use critical thinking. We have to, figure things out and figure our own path. That's what this is about. Expert said I didn't buy the themes for the first time and I don't regret it. Way to go. Don't buy those themes if you don't want to. Don't feel like you're forced to buy those themes. That's exactly right. looking at some of the epic defense absolute relics I bought with medals last year and cringed. Well, you never know. Maybe in version 29 they're gonna buff defense absolute, right? Yeah, you never know. If you're a collector, I'm sure, yeah, just buy everything. It's fine. Like, play the game however you want to play. It doesn't matter. I'm a collector, so I buy everything. I'm also, I'm kind of a whale, so. Oh, nice. You're 8 standard relics away from having all relics. Nice. You're more of a collector than me. Alright, look at that. We're squarely in the 3rd place now. And very soon we're gonna be 2nd and 1st place. 2nd and 1st place are pretty close to each other, so once we beat one of them, we pretty much beat the other. Oh, we actually have we do have a commander buffed Ray on the screen right now. So for those of you who are wondering how you deal with commander buffed Ray, so this is how. So the wall is gonna tank that hit. The Ray is about to shoot. Yep, see that? My wall just tanked that hit. Even though I'm not even using wall nowadays, I'm using my main tower. It still got enough juice in it to fully tank that commander buffed Ray hit. Now look at that. And because of the Thunderbot Titan shot, like that Ray doesn't shoot for a long while after it shoots once. So you can see it's gonna sit on the screen for a very long time and not shooting. That's what we like to see. And the next time it shoots me, probably the wall is still gonna tank that hit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, the Ray's about to shoot. Oh, never mind. The Ray never shot a second time. It got deleted. What modules am I running? Yeah, so just these. Pretty standard EHP plus Pro Control setup. Singularity Harness is more for like bigger bot range, so like bigger flame bot for more consistency, bigger thunder bot, bigger bot, and that kind of stuff. Yes, we love commander buffing mass. I hope they don't take away in the 28.3 version. If they do take away, I'm sure I'll find a way around it, but we have to adapt, right? Always adapt. But I hope they don't take it away, because I just love watching Rays just shoot once and never shoots again. But yeah, guys, folks, this is how I build my tower. I basically build my tower for primarily the purpose, aside from having fun myself, of course, but for primarily the purpose to showcase to the world what is possible, right? A lot of us have heard, how important damage is, and how less important the HP is, and how useless the HP is in Legend, but that's why I build my tower in a way to show people what is actually possible, and so they can feel like they have more freedom to build the tower and play the game however they want. So in this case, we're almost 2,500 waves in Legend, and as we all can see, like a Ray shot can't even, like a commander buff Ray shot can't even break through my wall that I'm not even using, because nowadays I'm mostly tanking with my main tower. So that just goes to show that if you keep working on that EHP, that damage reduction, that health, that's gonna serve you well. That is definitely possible, The overheat keeps taking away my health levels, so now I only have 2,300 left. I should at this point have like more than 3 big Q health, but I only have 53 small Q health. They keep taking away my health, but doesn't matter. If all I have is 10 Q, I will tank with 10 Q health left. Well, see, the 10 Q on the wall is tanking that overcharge pretty well, so it's doing its job. But yeah, I think I don't know if my wall can still take another hit from the next time the Commander Ray shows up and shoots me, because I don't know what wave that's gonna be. But we'll see. But I think the main tower can probably still tank a Commander buff the Ray shot pretty well. Do you use enemy health lab to assist chain lightning plus? Yes. Yeah, I basically, because the enemy health lab is basically also percent damage, and I take anything that's percent damage. So yeah, I have most of those enemy health labs maxed. At which point would you recommend the enemy health labs to others? The enemy health labs are not that significant, so I would like move them towards the end, and they're pretty expensive too. So you don't need to worry about them for a long while. It's pretty much like after everything else is done. It distresses me seeing an overcharge on the screen for that long. Got to shift my playstyle. Well, overcharge is a problem for everyone once the wave is high enough, right? But yeah, if you have a good amount of EHP, you don't have to worry about overcharge. Well, you don't really have to worry about anything on your screen, frankly speaking. Like so far, like my tower didn't even budge. Like I still have my second wind. Like none of my harm mitigation like new second wind demon mode ever went up, right? So it's pretty carefree. Like if you have big EHP and you have decent crowd control and stuff, it's pretty carefree. You just kind of let it run and you don't care. Nothing will hurt you. So it's pretty good. We like lazy. Lazy's good. I like lazy gameplay. Do you lab the enemy attack? Yes, I lab the enemy attack as well because that's HP, right? Reduction of enemy attack means damage reduction. But again, it's not that much, so I would say like do that at the end. And then what guardians do you run? I run attack. And how much investment do you have in them? All of them. All of my bids are in attack. Just attack. My whole playstyle is just praying that they miss me due to inner landmine, miss chance, I guess. Deathify. It's extremely stressful. I mean, it's stressful. It could be fun, right? You get that adrenaline hit. Every time I get adrenaline hit when I have to rely on my casino luck to like kill something. So, I mean, stressful doesn't mean unfun. So it's still good. With Chain Lightning Plus, Plasma Cannon Plus, May Ray health reduction, I think Rays can get down to like 1% health or something very low. Yeah, Varsity has done some calculation on, he's posted some math and some graphics on the Tar Sanctuary Discord. So if you haven't checked that out, join our Discord and go to the Varsity channel or just ping him to check it out. Yeah, you can get raid to a fairly low percentage. It's pretty good. What's hitting me? Something's reducing my energy shield, but does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. We just tank everything. It's all good. We don't need energy shield. What's up? Hey JP. What's up? Thanks for joining. Hi Giga Tower. I'm late. Had family over. I'm personally going for Armor SE and CL +9 by August. Nice. Hey, no worries. Yeah, don't worry about being late. No worries. Yeah, Armor Assist is very good, especially for EHP. And Smite 9. Smite 9 is very good. Smite 9 solves all your, well, I would say most of your scatter problems, because it just instantly kills any scatter that spawns after the second generation. So third generation onwards, as soon as it spawns, it just dies. It's beautiful. I like how zoomed out your tower is. Yeah, because I'm running at the max range of 220 meters, and that's why it's pretty zoomed out. Because the higher range, the more zoomed out. It's pretty clean. I like how it looks. The defense percent lab is a long 9s per band lab. I wonder what's your range? 220 meters. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Mr. Flipstar. Mr. Flipstar is another content creator. He's got some pretty fun stuff on his channel. I look at those every once in a while. We eliminate scatter babies here. Yeah. Smite level 9 eliminates all the scatter babies. Also, you folks would probably have noticed so far that in most cases the scatters don't actually reach my tower, even though they look like they will. In most cases. Of course, commander buffed scatters are gonna be a bit different, but yeah, in most cases, scatters just can't reach the tower. So we are around about 2,500. So this is typically around where my second wind is gonna pop. So yeah, this is probably where I would expect my second wind to pop around here. And this is the second wind of my run. So pretty consistent, around 2,500. Here we go. So that's the second wind. We're at 2,495. We're gonna turn off Smite. Because the second wing pop, that means that from this point on, the commander is going to be able to pop my tower. So we're gonna start using some micro, like a smite toggle, to kill the commander with percent damage from this point onwards. But we are at 2,500, so if we look at the ranking, yeah, we're pretty much at the top. We just need to push for a little bit to get past to get to first place. So let's keep pushing that. We can also do some math on the wave based on when commander shows up, when the last one shows up, to calculate when the next one is supposed to show up. So in Legend Tournament, the fleet spawn is pretty consistent if you don't use wave skip. So in this case, I'm not using wave skip, which makes my run a bit longer. But in my opinion, it's worth it if I can get it to be more consistent. So if you don't use wave skip, it's typically like it's a saboteur followed by an overcharge followed by a commander, and then saboteur overcharge commander, like one by one. like that pretty consistently. So yeah, so that allows us to, you know, predict roughly when the next commander is going to show up pretty consistently. Sometimes it's not fully consistent, but most cases it's going to be like 1 1 1 1 1 1. So like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so this commander is 2.5. I think it showed up at around 2,510, right? But of course, every 100 waves, there's an extra fleet that shows up. So in this case, like the fleet could be a commander, or could be an overcharge and whatnot. So those are like outside of the calculation of, you know, the 1 2 3 1 2 3. So in this case, what we're gonna go for is this commander, because it showed up kind of soon compared to the last commander. And an overcharge is on the screen, so that means like the commander is probably from the every 100 wave an extra fleet shows up. So we're probably not going to be able to like smite toggle this one, because in order to smite toggle, the OA has to use percent damage and kind of hit the commander enough times so that like it's low enough for us to kill it with smite. So we probably won't be able to smite toggle this one. So we'll probably have to use the what do you call it, the demon mode to actually do the smite toggle. Because the smite toggle requires us to basically survive 20 waves after the commander shows up. Yeah, there you go. So we have demon mode on. So we're just gonna wait like around maybe like 8 to 9 more waves. When it says 2.5, roughly 2.530, we're gonna turn on smite, and that's when we're gonna kill the commander. I need this tournament to end ASAP. The Stonewall give me max smite. Nice. Get the max smite. Okay, so around here, you can see I turned on Smite and then the commander died. But there's still a good amount of you know, commander buff scatters around. So we'll see if we can deal with them. If we cannot deal with them effectively, then we'll have to use the nuke. But we'll just leave Smite on for a while so that if the scatter splits, they instantly die, because there's no more commanders, so they instantly die to Smite. As you can see, we do have like 3 commander buff rays on the screen, but fear not, they're not gonna shoot that much. They are gonna shoot, but just not that much. Okay, see, one broke the wall, and then one I tanked with the main tower. And they're no longer shooting, because they have huge mass, and Titan Shock is gonna stop them from shooting. Let's see if we can tank this hit from this ray. Boom, we tanked it. Look at that. Wave 2540, we tanked a commander buff ray with our main tower, no problem. Our health is gonna come back with package recovery. So we can keep tanking those rays, even if they don't die. And we're actually gonna turn off our smite now, because it looks like most of the scatters have been dealt with, so we don't need smite on. The ray's gonna keep like breaking the wall and whatnot, but they should not be a threat, and eventually they will all die. So you can see the 3 commander buff ray, now only 2 left. So it looks like we successfully dealt with that commander without expending our nuke, so we can use our nuke elsewhere. So that's pretty good. And here we have another commander, but this one, because the commanders are showing up kind of soon, so this one we probably will have to expand our nuke. but obviously we'll try. So that one showed up 2525. Wait, no, 2545. So if we can survive to like 2565, then we can try the smite kill on the commander. But if not, well, the nuke will trigger. I have smart nuke, so that's not a big issue. So for max range in general, like if you want big range and you still want the black hole coverage, you need to make sure your black hole size catches up to the range you're trying to do. And also in general, like if you have strong crawl control, max range goes with good crawl control. So unless you have good crawl control already, like having max range isn't gonna help you too much. Don't believe in yourself, believe in me, believe in the Kamina who believes in you. That's right, that's right. See, we got a... Oh, nuke went off, no problem. But we do have a Grand Logan fan in the chat. Grand Logan is my favorite anime. Hey Giga, hey Chomp Chomp. Why do you wait to turn on Chain Lightning Plus? Yeah, that's the technique called a smite toggle. Because smite can only hit 100 times on any one enemy, but it's a percent damage, so you kind of want that to hit at the end. So you want other percent damage such as like orbs, not orbs, electrons and stuff like that to wear down the commander until it's low enough, and then you turn on smite to use the 100 hits from smite to kill it. Because if you have smite on, it's gonna apply the 100 hits on the commander, and then smite can no longer deal any damage to the commander from that point on, and so then it cannot be killed because it has too much health at that point. Okay, we just a bit until we're first place, and I think it should be pretty safe. We're gonna be pretty safe getting that first place, because according to my calculation, the next commander should be around wave 2635. Unless we get really unlucky and we get an extra commander from the extra fleet every 100 waves. So the extra commander, the reason why we got kind of like 3 commanders in a row there is because of more fleets. The last overheat here, it says an additional fleet spawns every 100 waves. So one of those fleets, it was a commander. In fact, I think maybe 2 times in a row one of those fleet was a commander. And so that means like too many commanders kind of in a row kind of situation. But as long as that doesn't happen, according to my calculation, the next commander should be around 2635, which is well above what this person has. So I think first place is basically in our hands. And we don't actually need smite in our like regular tower run, so like at this point we just keep smite off, everything's gonna be okay. Giga, are you concerned about the on-dash shot from OC past wave 3k? Yeah, that's definitely gonna make things difficult past 3000, because at that point nobody has any HP, right? So yeah, that's definitely gonna make things harder, especially for me. But the dash drop from overcharge, I don't care about it before wave 3000. I mean, that's a plus. That's a privilege of the HP tower. Just never look at overcharge until wave 3000. Just unlocked Chain Lightning Plus, so this is helpful. Oh, I'm glad it's helpful. So we can see now my health has been reduced pretty low. I've only got 1,680 levels left. So my health is quite low at this point. My main tower is only 23 small Q. We can still tank stuff. We can tank overcharge until like around 3000, so still gonna be okay for a while. Taking away my health level is simply not enough to defeat my EHP. Yeah, mostly just OA wearing it down, and I don't think the attack chip is actually doing much because the attack chip is bugged right now. It cannot really kill fleet. I think it's just OA wearing down the commander and you know, a little bit of flat damage. However, that much kills most of the commander. But in later waves, commander is no longer dealt, you know, be able to be dealt with like that. So it needs to be dealt with more with higher percent damage. So in that case, I use the smite toggle to use the percent damage from smite to deal the last few percentage of a commander's health after it has been weakened by OA. So that's how I deal with it. Aside from, you know, second wind, nuke, and that kind of stuff. Oh, are we in first place already? Hey, we're in first place. Look at that. We did it. We did it, guys. We are in first place. We're gonna keep going until we die. What song is this? I just call it the Fight the Power song, but it's actually one of the songs from Gurren Lagann. If you haven't watched Gurren Lagann, the anime, I highly recommend it. It's really good. So unfortunately we got unlucky and we did get a commander early. So we got a commander at 2610. So we're gonna have to deal with that commander along with the overcharge that's here on the screen, which is gonna eat up a lot of the energy shields. And at this wave, getting energy shields eat up is very bad for us when the commander is there. So that means the run is probably gonna end soon when the next commander shows up, even if we like if we're able to bear with this commander. But we did get unlucky and we got an extra commander from the extra, like, you know, every 100 wave and extra fleet spawns. So we rolled a commander again on that, which is a bit unlucky, but what happens? Sometimes luck helps you, sometimes it does not. But we're already in first place, so not that big of a deal. We're just trying to finish the run. Alright, hey, look at that, we did it. Rank 1. 2619 is the final wave count. Yeah, so normally what would happen is if a regular commander shows up at its regular timing, which I calculated to be 2635, at that point the overcharge shouldn't be on the screen, which means the energy shield is going to be used, because I have energy shield mastery, it's going to be used to push back the scatters and the rays and stuff every time something hits my energy shield. So that is like 3 big pushback. And usually when I have all three energy shields, when the commander is on the screen, I'll be able to survive more than like 20 waves, which means that I'll be able to toggle smite and then kill that commander and then deal with the rest of the enemies on the screen. But unfortunately, like if the commander or the OC spawns when one of the others on the screen, such that both the commander and the OC is on the screen, then that's mostly like a run ending event. So unfortunately we kind of hit that. But hey, first place is first place in the bracket, right? So I think we did it today. We did what we set out to do. But the run probably would have continued to like around 3,000 if I got slightly luckier on that. Congrats to first place. Thank you. If Thunderbolt Plus works against Overcharge, would it then be better to not run Shrink Ray so they shoot even fewer times? When the Overcharge is there, I don't think it makes a huge difference because Thunderbolt Plus is basically, it applies the slow based on how many digits are there in your mass. So in most cases, even if Shrink Ray is there reduced by half, it still have like a same amount of digits. So in most cases, it should be fine. All right, cool. Well, that is the tournament run. We got first place, and today I'm just planning on streaming the tournament for the most part. So this will be the end of the stream. Thank you everyone for coming. This is my first ever stream from my channel on the tower, because I run the game exclusively from iPad. So typically I don't stream from iPad because I didn't have a way to stream from iPad because most streaming softwares are on PC. But I finally figured out a way to stream from iPad and I've set everything up. So from this point on, I will be able to stream more often, have more streams just directly from the iPad running the game and stream to YouTube directly. So yeah, stay tuned for more tournament stream from my tower in the future. And I have a few regular videos planned as well. For example, I plan to do another podcast video with Varsity for his 1 year review, because I think he's just hitting around like 1 year in his tower. So we're gonna do a 1 year review, look at everything in his tower and his performance in Legend League and everything. It's gonna be super excited. I'm super excited to go through that with him. And then I'm gonna have a video that talks about the kind of more going into my own tower more in depth and talk about the stone breakdown. So I'm basically gonna list all of the items that cost stone, and I'm gonna categorize them into like a few different categories like EHP, flat damage, percent damage, crowd control, econ, and stuff like that. And then I can give you folks a tour of my tower, but at the same time a summary on like how many of my stones is spent in each category. Just as a teaser, so I've done some rough math so far, and my lifetime stone is around 260,000 right now. So from that, it's about 80,000 in flat damage, 80,000 in crowd control and percent damage, about 20,000 in EHP, and about close to 80,000 in econ related stuff. So that's the rough breakdown. That's the rough breakdown. That's the teaser. But we'll go into more details and kind of look at the detailed calculation in that video. But that video takes a lot of time to like do the math and work it out. So it will take some time to work out. But yeah, stay tuned for more live streams and stay tuned for some of those videos that I mentioned to drop. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my first ever stream on the tower today, and hope to see you next time.